Welcome. We live in a world that is just absolutely obsessed with data. Think about it. From the very moment you wake up and check the weather app on your phone to the massive economic reports shaping our national policies, statistics are literally everywhere. And don't get me wrong, they are an essential, incredibly powerful tool for understanding the modern world. But here's the secret that almost always gets left out of the flashy headlines. Just like any powerful tool, statistics come with a very serious set of boundaries and limitations. It's kind of like reading a contract. You always need to read the fine print. So today in this explainer, we are going to unpack exactly what that fine print says. So, do numbers ever lie? It's a question we've all asked ourselves when we see a headline that just doesn't quite sit right. We have this tendency to treat quantitative data as if it's completely infallible. We think, well, it's a hard number, so it must be an objective fact. But is it really? Can a number deceive us, or is the deception happening somewhere else entirely? We are going to challenge the myth of perfect data today. Okay, let's dive into this. To navigate this, we're going to treat our agenda like a set of warning labels before handling the data. We'll be looking at Section 1, aggregates ignore the individual; Section 2, unmeasurable human traits; Section 3, averages aren't exact truths; Section 4, the danger of misuse; and finally, Section 5, mastering the servant. Let's get started. Section 1, aggregates ignore the individual, the blind spot of broad data. And this brilliantly illustrates our first limitation. Statistical methods are built from the ground up to study the forest, which means they inherently ignore the individual trees. If we want to study the monthly income of an organization, statistics easily gives us this big, impressive aggregate total, say $500,000. But look at what happens when we try to pinpoint the income of one specific individual person inside that company. Statistics draws a complete blank. It gives absolutely zero specific recognition or importance to any single individual value. So if you want to know about the individual, statistical methods simply cannot help you. Section 2, unmeasurable human traits, moving beyond the numbers. Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is the stark contrast. On one side, we have these physical, quantitative realities, right? Height, age, income. Statistics handles these beautifully. But look at the other side, honesty, beauty, goodwill. You can't exactly put a percentage on how good a first date was or measure someone's integrity with a ruler. And yet, these are some of the most important aspects of the entire human experience. If a subject requires an understanding of complex human character or aesthetic beauty, pure statistics will leave you completely empty-handed. Section 3, averages aren't exact truths, the generalization trap. Now, this is a trap almost all of us fall into at some point, confusing an average with an exact reality. Imagine reading a report that says agricultural food production has grown at an average rate of 4% per year for the last decade. Your brain instantly pictures the smooth, steady escalator, rising perfectly by exactly 4% every single year, like clockwork. Let's move to the reality and see how this builds, because that average is just a generalization hiding the messy volatility of the real world. Over that 10-year span, the actual rate fluctuated wildly. Think about it. Year A might have suffered a terrible drought, yielding only a 1% increase. But then year B had perfect weather, booming all the way up to 7%. Maybe only year C actually hit exactly 4%. The 4% average over the decade is mathematically true, but if you expect that exact reality every single year on the ground, you'd be entirely wrong. Section 4, the danger of misuse, the human element. We are escalating now to what is arguably the greatest, most dangerous limitation of all. Numbers don't manipulate themselves, people do. The misuse of statistics happens when inexpert users literally distort numerical facts to draw predetermined conclusions. It happens when someone already knows the exact story they want to tell, whether that's a politician trying to win an election or a business trying to sell you a product, and they just twist the data until it conveniently agrees with them. And this is definitely not just a modern problem. Decades ago, pioneering statisticians Yule and Kendall issued this really stark warning. They said, statistical methods are most dangerous tools in the hands of an inexpert. It's such a brilliant framing. Think of statistics like a scalpel. In the hands of a skilled, highly trained surgeon, it saves lives. But in the hands of an amateur, or worse, someone with bad intentions, it becomes incredibly dangerous. In fact, Benjamin Disraeli, the former Prime Minister of England, famously took this skepticism to the absolute extreme, comparing statistics to superlative lies. Now, okay, that is certainly an overstatement, but we should absolutely view it as a powerful caution. Disraeli's frustration highlights how often data is tortured to draw desirable conclusions rather than possible, factual conclusions. It's a fantastic reminder to always keep our guard up. Section 5, Mastering the Servant, the final takeaway. After all these warnings, it'd be super easy to just throw our hands up and distrust all data entirely. But statistician Wilfred I. King offers the perfect perspective here. He wrote, "The science of statistics is the most useful servant, but it is only of great value to those who understand its proper use." So the crucial point is this: the fault doesn't lie with the math itself. It lies with biased interpretation. Statistics is an incredibly useful servant, but we have to be the ones directing it properly, impartially seeking the truth, not just hunting for the numbers that make us feel right. Which leaves us with this final thought to chew on. The next time you see a flashy chart on the news or read a percentage in a marketing email, I want you to remember the fine print. Remember that it might be ignoring the individual, overlooking unmeasurable human traits, relying on a generalized average, or being manipulated by a vested interest. Take your new data literacy out into the world. Actively question the statistics you consume. Are you mastering the numbers, or are they mastering you? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and stay curious.